politics in the United States of America. The left has gotten really left, and the right has gotten really right. Everyone's towing the line, and we're getting nowhere. Fast. This is the Rational American. The Rational American. Common sense has gone out the window, and our passion is to open eyes in hopes that people will take a rational look at what America is actually becoming. Put your feelings aside and let's get real. This is the Rational American, and this is your host, Steve Oatley.
Well, welcome to this shit show of an evening. It's actually been a pretty good evening, at least for me, in the Huskies, who just won 22-0. Again, second shutout of the season. Pretty awesome. Out of 2 games, right? Go Huskies. My kid's football team, by the way. He didn't play again. 7th graders don't play, but whatever. I still cheered it on just like he was playing. And then I yelled at him, too, for not paying attention because, after all, he is 12. He saw, like, a mosquito or something and then started dancing and doing stuff. And I'm like, stop! Pay attention to the game! That's your team. All the other parents were like, oh my gosh, who is this crazy big man? Anyway, welcome to the show. My name is Steve. This show is called The Rational Americans, where I attempt to give you a rational view on what's happening across America every day. And to be honest, I don't. You know, I think I do, right? But I don't know if it is rational. Okay, my way of thinking, I have to say, is rational. It's very rational. I think everyone else is just dumb. Everyone else is dumb. I was just watching a live stream. So many of you guys, and I've calmed down a little bit from yesterday and earlier today, which is good, right? Because I was pretty pissed off for a long time. But yesterday I made a very long ranting video, approximately an hour and a half of me just venting furious about reports that the January 6th, the 1776 Restoration Movement members made a public call for people to call the Veteran Crisis Line in an effort to, quote unquote, clog the phone lines with issues relating to the January 6th defendants. Now, I don't need to go into too much about what I feel about the January 6th defendants, because I think I've made that perfectly clear. If you're here for the first time, I'll do my best so you understand. I believe they are all not getting due process, but I also believe that the majority of the people, if not all of them, that are currently in custody committed some sort of crime. They're charged with some sort of crime. A jury has not found them guilty or innocent because the federal government is dragging their ass. They are not being afforded due process, which they are all entitled, and it's their right to have, and they're not getting it. And it's a travesty. With that said, I am a firm believer of someone, when you do something, especially if you do it because you value it, you stand for it, you call it your patriotic duty, however flawed that may be, you also must deal with the consequences. The consequences for rioting at the Capitol are this. How unfair it may be, it doesn't matter. It does matter, but this is the consequence. No matter how right or wrong, this is the consequence. This is literally the consequence to that action. And people have to understand that, and it's not saying that it's right or wrong or anything else like that. It's just saying this is like if you throw a ball, it's going to come down at some point. That is the consequence of throwing the ball. It's not going to stay up in the air forever. Eventually, there's going to be something, a causation, right? The causation would be rioting. The action, what they're dealing with, is committing a crime or allegedly committing a crime. With that said, yesterday, the 1776 Restoration Movement members, several of them, who have been part of the J6 vigil that's been going on every single day. I'm sure it's going on right now as well. Yesterday morning, this guy, Justin, who apparently is the same guy that's caused a shit ton of problems with these guys before, got up, showed the number on a cell phone to the cameras, and urged everybody to call the Veteran Crisis Line, stating that there are veterans that are being locked up and not being afforded medical care and all that. And we'll go into the legality of all that, because I know a lot of people are super confused about that. But we'll go into the legality of VA benefits while you're incarcerated. There is a difference. Oh, and shitheads that don't know anything shouldn't be talking. Incarcerated means when you are a ward of the state. If you are charged with a crime and you are remanded to jail, you are incarcerated. Incarcerated doesn't mean that you're sentenced or you're convicted. It means you are in the custody of the state or the federal government, however it means. You are a ward of the state. They control you, as wrong as that may be, but that's what it means. And also to the shitheads that say they don't think veteran suicide crisis callers work. As like, dude, I got to call Chris. I lost fucking immense respect for WYSIWYG today. Immense respect for WYSIWYG. Saying that he didn't think it was a call or protest of them calling. He didn't think, the lines weren't, saying that they weren't trying to clog up the lines. And he didn't think that there was any, essentially he said he didn't think that there was anything. And then he had a veteran that called in. Clearly the veteran had some crisis issues going on himself. And Chris has the balls after the guy says he's called the Veteran Service Crisis Line several times. And you can hear it shaky and all that. Then Chris says crisis lines don't work. And the guy literally starts crying on the phone with him. I've spent a lot of time defending that guy, and I'll still defend him. But man, he fucking pissed me off today. Pissed me off. But anyway, the 1776 member called yesterday morning for people to call 988, the crisis line for veterans. So, and keep in mind what a crisis line is. It's where you call if you're a veteran in crisis, like suicide. That's what it's for. It's a suicide hotline, essentially, where they get you on the phone with a skilled, trained person to try to tell you that it's going to be okay. That is what the line is for. There's all sorts of reporting about this, right? Even Jake Tapper tweeted out, because it got to him after I finished my live stream yesterday. And I don't know, it's just probably because it blew up in the left-wing circles. But he cited this quote from the Veterans Administration, said their phones didn't go down all day. Here's, and I said this earlier today, and I think everybody has to pay attention to what I'm saying here. And do me a solid too, because not a lot of people are getting notifications on this video. So share it out right now. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, whatever, just share it out to everywhere. But apparently the Veteran Administration said the phones didn't go down yesterday. No veteran that did call in for service it was denied. They their phone system was 100% operational. But what about social media saying that the phone lines were down? Can you imagine just being someone that's in crisis, right? I can't even imagine what that would be like. But imagine you're someone in crisis, right? And you go on Twitter and you're just looking for anything to try to make yourself feel better. And one of the outlets that you have is called the Veteran Hotline. And then you see all over social media, the Veteran Hotline is it's already crashed. Why are you going to bother calling? And then you read that patriots, people that call themselves patriots, are the ones that are responsible for this alleged crashing. They almost want to pretend like there's no consequence for this action, which doesn't make any darn sense whatsoever. And people apologize. And then you got, WYSIWYG saying that crisis hotlines don't work. If someone calls it, they've pretty much already made up that fucking decision. Are you insane? Maybe you've just lived, maybe just people that believe that way have just lived such a privileged life that they haven't met someone. They haven't been impacted by suicide, let alone veteran suicide. Maybe they're just so flawed or so perfect in life that they never experience pain or strife or the absolute feeling of despair that many people get after a traumatic thing. Some people, like me, are fortunate. What we get, PTSD and nightmares. That's what happens to fortunate people. The unfortunate people are the people that can't deal with that stuff. That it's just easier to end it. And I have family that fits that category. And they succeeded. I just don't know. I don't understand how people could be so dense. Someone alerted me while I was at my kid's football game, and I saw the text and I didn't even really read it because I didn't want to get pissed off there. Someone sent me a text and they're like, listen, they were so pissed. They were so pissed, and they were showing me what they were pissed about. And then they sent me this text message, and it showed the stream. And apparently WYSIWYG was running a stream chat, whatever, a poll. That's what the word I was looking for. Where he said, and I don't even know what it was anymore. I could look it up. But I couldn't believe that how many people are just so fucking useless and worthless as human beings. He said, do you think the call to the VA crisis line was an effective and appropriate protest/action? Which is weird because then later on in his segment, he would write that it's a protest/action, but then says it wasn't a protest later on, which doesn't make any fucking sense. He said, do you think a call to the crisis line was an effective and appropriate protest action? Of which 31% of 229 people, 31% said it was inappropriate action. Those, I wish that there was a way for me to find out every single one of them. Because I don't even know what I do. I hate people. People are just dumb. People are dumb. And I'll tell you what's going to end up happening. Someone's going to die as a result of this stuff. Someone's going to die. Because you know what it's being reported is that this is all MAGAs. And we already know the president, the other day, and declared MAGA Republicans as an enemy of the state. And this week, an 18-year-old lost his life because he was deemed a MAGA extremist and he was run down by a radical leftist. True story. True story. But how long is it going to be till someone just loses their fucking mind? It frustrates me to all hell. You know what I mean? And then I started getting messages today because apparently my video from yesterday was, for some reason, it streamed out to the well-to-do leftists, right? So like the really verified leftist accounts, or not leftists, but people that align on the left. And I got like my wife's hair or something in my mustache. I don't know what the hell it is, but I keep seeing it fly up there. See, right there. Got it, like a freaking ninja. But apparently my video got out there yesterday, so I got a bunch of Twitter messages and a couple of emails from verified Twitter accounts or well-to-do people that don't align with me politically at all, but that were thanking me for taking such a hard stance on it yesterday. And then many of them responded to me today, which there's apparently more that transpired. Apparently more. Just today, there's a veterans group that's protesting on Capitol Hill today. And it's not 1776, any of these guys. It wasn't any of that. But you may remember there was a conflict that happened the other day between a veterans group that was camped out and they're doing something with Afghan, to get rights for Afghan nationals that have come over. And these are veterans that served over in Afghanistan and want these people that they, gave their lives for, essentially. The people that help them overseas, the translators, everyone else, and they're here, they want them, they want them to have rights and value in this country, which they deserve it. And this group is out there protesting, holding their own vigil. They're doing a camp out with lawn chairs and all that stuff on the steps of the Capitol. And apparently the 1776 group tries to mingle in with them yesterday or a couple of days ago. And it didn't work. They asked them to leave. The veterans asked them to leave. And so they did. And there's a video going around saying, why'd they ask us to leave? And the guy Justin says, well, because they're being controversial, they've already had negative press and they don't want any more negative press by having us there. Well, apparently that wasn't the end. And there's reporting now by the Military Times, a reporter with the Military Times, who is quoted. Well, he wrote a whole article about it, I believe. But he also, and I tweeted this out because I was just like, this is insane. Leo Shane, a verified Twitter account, reporter for the Military Times news outlet. And just to give, some credibility, he was also a former vets reporter for Stars and Stripes. I'll forgive him for being a Phillies fan, but whatever. He said this is the same group outside the Capitol now and has been harassing some of the folks out there involved in the Afghan Adjustment Act protest. And he had written an article about it. And so I said, exactly how are they harassing the vets protesting? Because that was news to me. I did see the video that other people said they're harassing from a couple of days ago, and I didn't think anything of it. But apparently this same group of so-called patriots that are saying to clog up the 1776, the Veterans Crisis Line, that we talked about yesterday. And a lot of people said, well, no, they weren't actually doing it. That number wasn't for the crisis line. But then if you watch their video from last night, which was going on while I was live, they're probably live right now. They were literally calling for people to call them again. And they even laughed about the fact that, oh, they said that people couldn't get through, blah, 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 blah. They were laughing about it. That's how evil they are. And they call themselves patriots. And people are still defending those actions, which is insane. It's insane. But apparently, Leo Shane, again, the reporter for the Military Times, said vets out there said the same group came over, started having words after they went into their area. The Capitol Police had to come in quickly and separate them. This is insane. This is insane that this group of people that's apparently advocating for veterans' rights, do you think that the people that are locked up in J6 would be for this kind of protest, this kind of action? I'd be ashamed as shit if I was sitting in that jail cell. Not just of my actions and rioting at the Capitol, but of people that are going out and saying they're doing this for me. I had a conversation yesterday with one of the organizers of these protests. Not the 1776 ones, the J6 vigils. With one of the organizers, I had a conversation. And I sent him a text message. I said, please tell me you're not behind this shit, of which he called me when I left and I was driving home. And I pulled over because I started yelling at him. And he lied to me. And he lied to me because I specifically said, did you know about this? And he's like, no, I learned about it tonight. And I'm like, are you condemning it? And he's like, what about the J6 defendants? And I'm like, dude, they're fucking people that committed crimes or allegedly committed crimes. No matter what, there's evidence of them committing crimes. I don't give a fuck if they jaywalk. A veteran that serves overseas that didn't commit any crimes, that is thinking about taking their life, takes precedent over someone who lost their rights while committing a crime. Do you understand? And a lot of people are like, no, they don't lose their rights. They only lose their rights if they're convicted, which is false. The VA has a wide way of birth, I guess, at going after people. Veterans can transfer their pensions and their disability funds into their significant others' accounts, but they forfeit it if they're convicted. And then it re-ups as long as they're approved after their conviction is done. That is what it says. And also about VA health, they're arguing that these J6 protesters, or not the J6 protesters, the 1776 people that were with the J6 protesters, they're saying, well, they're not getting medical care. They're not getting VA care that they're entitled to. It's very simple to understand that when you're in a jail, the VA has no jurisdiction to come in and render medical aid to you. Do you know? They can't. They legally cannot do it. But nobody wants to believe that because, well, that would take some fucking Google search ability, but nobody has that anymore. So everybody just makes shit up and says, no, you still get all your rights. No, you don't. That's the whole point of committing. That's the deterrent to stop people from committing crimes, is you lose those rights. But and it's not even that you lose those rights specifically to healthcare, because those are guaranteed to you. The problem is the VA has no authorization to go into a state level jail or a federal jail and render medical aid because of the law that's already in place that says that state-run institution, that county-run institution, that federal institution is mandated to provide you medical care. So the grievances that the J6 defendants have that are not getting appropriate medical care, and we know they're not getting appropriate medical care, and that's absolutely shameful. The grievances are with the departments that are holding them. It's with the Department of Justice. It's with the Department of Prisons or whoever the fuck it is. Those are the facts about it. You don't lose your disability payments but the VA can take them and suspend them until conviction. And if they overpay you and you are convicted, they can come back and try to get that money back, just as if they suspend those payments and you are acquitted or you're found not guilty later, you as a veteran can go and petition to have it all backdated. I found that in a 5-minute fucking Google search, and everyone's like, you need to look into law. It was a VA disability criminal attorney that wrote every single thing that I just said. Someone that literally works with veterans who are committing crimes that are getting locked up in keeping their veterans' benefits. Someone said, I keep hearing they're being abused, physically abused in the jails in horrible shape. I thought MDG has taken a picture, doesn't want to have cancer. Yeah, they're getting the shit kicked out of them by the cops, by other inmates, from what I understand, but definitely by the correctional officers. They're not getting medical care that they need. They're not allowed to use razors. They're not allowed to use, proper toiletries. They're not given, adequate food. We already know that. They're being treated horrible. They're being treated horrible. But if I have to pick someone that's in jail versus someone that is in crisis, because here's the truth. If they're different, one is going to live. One is going to live. The veterans hotlines are meant to try to keep people alive. I just don't understand. I don't understand. And so many people are out there like pushing it. Like, you cannot like me. I see how everybody jumps on that bandwagon. And that's fine. Don't like me. I don't need you to like me. I'm not doing this to be liked. But use your head. That's the reason I do this, is to get you to think rationally about what's going on. If you think it's an acceptable loss to lose a veteran who didn't commit any crimes, to bring awareness to mistreatment of people that are in jail and are likely not going to, the guy with the cancer who's not getting his treatment, that is fucked, as all fucked. But like yesterday, they're like, what about the veterans? What about the veterans? And I screamed, I'm like, what? Or they're like, what about the veterans in jail? What about those guys? 50% of them are veterans. And I'm like, that's wrong. It's wrong. But you can't take away from if I have to choose, I'm choosing a veteran. I'm choosing my brother. If I could bring back my brother over anyone that's in that jail right now, you're 100% fucking right. I would. 100% right. So anybody that wants to sit there and fucking challenge me on that, you're disgraceful. And so many people do it. So many people do it. And everyone's like, this is going to lead to a bigger issue. And it already is. Because if you look at what mainstream media is doing now, is they're framing this as MAGAs. They're framing this as MAGA Republicans or even the GOP. These people are not Republicans. They are not MAGA Republicans. They are not conservatives. They are not GOP. They are nothing. They are the scum of the fucking earth. And I'm talking about the people out there protesting, the people that are calling these the J6 not J6, the fucking 1776 protesters. The people that are calling for VAs to clog the phone lines. The people that are even calling, the people that think it would be a good idea to take that one person that's on the other line that and occupy them with some bullshit when they could be helping a veteran. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting, and everybody who wants to try to defend that, anybody who wants to say that it's not a protest, anyone who wants to make excuses and say that well, they didn't clog the phone lines. What if they did? It's the intent of it. What if they did? What if there was one veteran that wasn't able to get through? What if one veteran went on Twitter and saw that the VA lines were shut down? What about that one person? And for morons that live an entitled life to say that if someone is going to call a suicide hotline, they are likely not going to be able to be deterred, you piece of shit. Why do you think they exist? And it sucks because when I respect people to it, it hurts even more. You know what I mean? It's a good thing he didn't park his RV in my fucking warehouse. There was something. I was like, yeah, we can't do that. I would have been calling him tonight and saying, come get this piece of shit. This is fucked. This is fucked, man. Someone said you can't sacrifice one for the other. Yeah, I'll sacrifice my brother for any one of you guys. If there was a way to bring him back, I'd sacrifice him over every fucking one. Myself, everybody, except my kids. Say you can't sacrifice one for the other. Fuck you, you can't. Tell that to a family member. And it's just wrong. Someone said it's some people show their true colors. I don't even know if it's true colors. Sometimes I think people say things that they mean and they spend a lot of time trying not to do that. And that's what backs them all around. Now, as you said, now some veterans need it. Yeah, there are veterans that said that they couldn't get through yesterday. And you literally had I encourage all of you guys to go find the video yesterday of this J6 meeting last night and watch them literally laugh and say that the veterans who are posting online that they have no idea whether it's true or not are just made up. They're not real. Because yeah, veterans don't reach out for help before they do something horrible. Some do. Just to the wrong people. And I just, for the life of me, it just, and I've warned all of you people. I warned all of you. This group was bad. This group was bad. I knew it from the pedophile thing. And I kept trying to be like, well, I stand for freedom too. I disagree with the whole COVID shit. I disagree with trying to reverse lock people down. You know what I mean? Which is essentially what they're doing. I don't give a fuck if someone else wears a mask or is vaccinated. I make my choices with my body. I'm not vaccinated. I don't wear masks. That's my choice. I have that freedom. If I ever go to a store or work a job where I have to make that determination, I would do what other really, really good people that I know do and quit huge fucking pay salary jobs because they don't want to get the jab. Should they have been forced to do that? No, but that was also the employer's right to make that decision. But someone said, it's personal though. You are bringing personal stuff into it. I don't blame you, but it's hard to be neutral. I'm not even trying to be neutral. I'm not trying. I could be, because you know what? It's not, neutral is not common sense. What I'm using right now is called common fucking sense. Maybe everyone else should try to use it. Common sense. You don't clog up phone lines. You don't call phone lines with, it's like calling 911 when you lost your fucking keys. Do you know what I mean? It's having a fire department come out because you don't know how to cook macaroni and cheese. It's common sense. It's common sense. But the problem is, it's common sense when it comes to veterans, which it should come as second nature. It shouldn't even be common sense. It doesn't matter whether it's personal for me or not, because nothing I'm saying has a personal bias. No, it's got a common sense bias, and it's quite amazing when you get to the point where you can just actually think freely for yourself. Oh, it's fucking amazing. Stop trying to be like Republican all the time, or if you're a liberal all the time. How about you just use this little thing God gave you? It's called common sense. He didn't give it to everybody. Let's be honest. But he gave it to most people, I believe. I don't know. Sharon said, Steve, check your email. I've paid and no access. Fix the problem. Tired of going on Facebook. Yeah, I'll do it. Send another email. That's the problem. I get like 1,000 emails a day. Every day when I end the show, I spend about 15 minutes going through the emails that I get during the show of people that say they don't have access, and I fix it for you. So send me an email right now. Don't tell me to check my email because you sent me an email 5 hours ago, because I've literally gotten like 70 emails since then. I got to set up a new email and just not tell anybody, because it is hard to find emails now. Yes, my son won his football game 22-0. 22-0. So I guess I was going to make a special hoodie today. And I didn't have time because I was sitting here listening to Chris getting pissed off as fuck. But we're doing something different, because you guys know that we donate a lot, right? And we've always donated a lot. But I've made a decision that I want to do more, because I always say, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Right? All the time. What can I do? What can I do? I say it all the fucking time. So from now on, starting this month, October 1st, or what is it? September 1st, even though it's the 20th now, we're backdating it the entire month. We are going to be every single month donating 10% of our total sales. That's not revenue. That's not profit. Or yeah, it is revenue. 10% of our total sales. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to break it down to 3 different charities, 501c3 charities, every single month. Well, I'm going to build this little thing. I'll figure out how to do it where the 3 charities can go on. And obviously, we'll be transparent about it. And not that I need to, because everyone knows we're good for it. But we're going to donate 10% off of everything we do. Every bag of coffee, everything. because we have to. Because we have to. And so that's because before we had the Harlem's Finest where we donated all the proceeds from that one. And I was thinking about it today and I wanted to do more. And yesterday, yeah, for sure. We did maybe $300 in Venmo and Cash Apps, another $100, $200 in PayPal's and whatever. Even though PayPal is locked, I can't do anything with it. It's weird because it says that I can't see all the money that's in there, but I could still use the money that's in there that I can see. It's weird. But we made about $500 in terms of donation from yesterday. And I want to do more than that. So, I thought about it and I figured that this is the direction I want to go. So it's just automatic. 10% of everything that we sell in that store forever. Every month we'll have 3 different charities and we will make the tax deductible donations to each of those charities. And we're going to have a submittal form. So if you have a charity you want, but they got to be police, military, law enforcement, or even scholarships. I got to figure out how to do that so we can give away scholarships too. But we're doing it. And that's effective September 1st. Because I want to do more than just $500 or $600, whatever it works out to be. So just keep that in mind if you do purchase. A lot of you guys ask for K-Cups on puretruthcoffee.com. We have them now. I'm going to be spending the weekend. So Friday, I'm driving to Wilmington, North Carolina for the Trump rally. I'm going to leave pretty early. I'll get there around lunchtime. I'll stay out there for about 4 hours until the rally begins, and then I'll leave, or when my batteries die in the cameras and all that. Yeah. And we'll be out there covering the rally, talking to people about what's going on. And I'm going to go out of my comfort zone a little bit and actually talk to people. I don't like doing it. You guys know that, but we have to. Yeah. And someone said too, because we don't just have coffee on puretruthcoffee.com. We've got shirts. I'm going to be adding new shirts and everything. In all reality too, I need you guys. One, because it allows us to donate larger amounts. But secondly, we just need it. It's been dry. Our YouTube revenue for last month was $238. You know what I mean? And I think I gave away 8 TVs. So, it was just dry. So you guys going into the store, like a lot of you guys bought the K-Cups today, which I truly appreciate. Buy shirts, buy all that stuff. Cause we have a goal that we want to set every day. Cause essentially, like, here's the thing. If we generate $1,000 a day for the store, we will generate $100 a day donated. And that's not, we're not doing it off profit. We're doing it off the gross sales that we do. And then we'll be able to donate $100 a day. 100 times 30 is $3,000 that we'll be able to donate every single month, to a variety of different charities. And so at least you could feel good doing that. And we'll still do all the same discount codes because in all reality, doing this stuff was never about trying to get rich. It was about trying to sustain the media side so we could keep operating, to keep Citizen Stringer going, to hire more writers and do everything we wanted to do. I realized that while everyone wants to consume news and for example, right now watching on social media alone, not considering Citizen Stringer, there's 663 of you that are watching right now. Now, I know with the Biden economy and everything, people just don't have anything. You just don't have things to do. And unlike everyone else where it's like, oh, we're truly independent, we need your donations now. We don't do that. We're not a nonprofit or anything like that. So by what we do is we heavily push the store, Pure Truth Coffee, every single day because, well, we have to. It's how we stay open. And I often think, I look down at these numbers every day. 670 people now. Can you imagine if just everyone rallied and did $5 each, every single person? The difference that it would make, not just for us as a company and some of the things that we're doing. I got yelled at last night. I got yelled at. My wife with the K-Cup stuff, she wasn't really on board, because I had to use our personal money for that. And we're renovating our house. So she was really mad. Still trying to deal with that battle. But can you imagine though, just the difference, it would make for us in terms of production and news and everything. And we received one Cash App during the show. I think it was Denise, I believe. Teresa. Thank you. But yeah, anyway. Someone said, why didn't Trump pardon J6ers during the 15 days left he had in office? How much billion? Because how do you pardon someone that hasn't been arrested? Do you understand? Someone said, how much billions of dollars have the PAC contributed to the legal defense of J6ers? Zero. Why would they? Why would they? If I had $1 million right now, I wouldn't donate to legal defense for J6ers. And that's to be frankly honest with you. That's to be honest with you. I wouldn't. You know why? Because I believe that somehow, some way, people should be held accountable for their actions. Let's make no mistake about it. My firm belief is that the people, albeit they're not getting treated fairly in jail, and that is wrong, but they committed a crime, they rioted. You know what I mean? Maybe there's 90 plus people that are locked up right now that have been remanded. Okay. We're not talking about the people that took, like one person was trying to say yesterday that someone was locked up for 18 months for a 23-year-old from Texas. No, he got an 18-month probation sentence for that. He wasn't locked up for simply trespassing. And anybody can actually find these things. But the truth of the matter is, I've long maintained that when you commit a crime, right? You know you did it. You know you did it. You know, David sent a Cash App. Thank you. But you know you did it. You know what I mean? Someone said, boo on you. Your wife's opinion doesn't matter. She's liberal and voted for Biden. Here, get... You're fucking... People aren't locked up right now for misdemeanors. They're not. They're locked up for assaulting police officers. They're locked up for pepper spraying officers. They're locked up for smashing in windows of the Capitol. That's what they're locked up for. They're not locked up for standing on and parading or walking through open doors. It's just simply not the case. You know? But again, I'll say none of them are being afforded due process. So let me take that back. Initially, I wouldn't have donated a dime for their defense because I condemned it from day one. You guys know that. You've watched my show. I lost half of my fucking viewers because I condemned that rioting the same as BLM rioting. It's the same fucking thing. You're rioting. But due process, they're not getting due process now. They should have bail. They should be out of jail like John Sullivan. Or half of the other fucking people that just have the privilege to get out of jail. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people do not have that privilege. A lot of these people are being locked up and not even getting discovery. You know, some of these cases are pushing back discovery over and over. So I guess I'll walk back what I said there. Initially, no, I wouldn't provide it legal. And if I had $1 million now, maybe I'd hire some constitutional attorney or something, a nonprofit, to look at it. Someone said, well, the BLM that threw rocks at police are not arrested. But you can't use that as a qualifier. You can't say, well, they did it. Haven't you ever heard the little expression that like, if someone jumps off a bridge, are you going to do it too? Do you know what I mean? You tell kids not to do something that someone else does, even though they got away with it. Why do we have to tell adults to do that? And that's a position of mine that hasn't changed in a very long time either. You know, and I was a fucking hellraiser in my life, a hellraiser. But I can tell you what, anything that I did wrong in my life, no matter how bad, no matter how wrong, I always fessed up to it right away because I knew somewhere deep in, and maybe I felt I was at wit's end, right? You know, running away and stuff like that. I knew there was, I had to do certain things in order to leave, and I knew they were wrong every time. And I've long maintained that this group of people, no matter how much, should they be locked up for 18 months? No, most of the cases and most of the violence that they've been charged with, they should already be out of jail. on time served and probation for 20 years or whatever the fuck it is. They shouldn't be remanded in jail forever. But then again, I have a hard time saying, well, they did commit a crime. Everyone's like, put yourself in their shoes. I can't. Because I'm the type of person that immediately says that I did something wrong if I do it. So I can't visualize being in their shoes. Because ultimately, I think, because a lot of people felt like that was their duty to storm that building. They felt like it was that duty, which doesn't make any sense when you think about it, because I'm a taxpayer, I'm an American. That's also my building, just as much as it is yours. What do you say to the people that are smearing shit through it or breaking the windows or attacking the people that are paid to protect it? Someone said they have not been convicted yet. You know how many people are in jail right now pending charges that haven't been convicted? Pending conviction? Millions. I guarantee that if April went and dug deep, she could find people with like-minded charges, people that are charged with very similar things on a state level that have been in jail just as long, that even do have bail and can't afford it. You know, Steve already said they aren't getting due process. Yeah, and see, that's the thing, is people can't hear what I say. You know what I mean? Their conditions right now are not right. And they know that. I know that. Everybody knows it. They're not being treated fairly in jail. But again, sometimes you got to think, what happens when you roll a snowball down a mountain? Does anyone know? It gets fucking bigger. And eventually the mountain ends. It's like throwing a ball, best example. Eventually that ball comes down. They were flying, soaring through the air as they were riding at the Capitol. And now the consequences, now it's bouncing. And eventually that ball is going to stop rolling. No one really knows where. It all depends on the velocity of its spin. But do you know what I mean? That's the best analogy I can give in this scenario. Is everyone was up high when the riot was going on. And everyone's like, no, this is the right thing to do. And as it came down and they got arrested and everything, they're like, no, that was my patriotic duty, blah, blah, blah. And now they're sitting there and they're like, wait, the consequences, I'm still paying this consequence to something that I understand that play. I understand many of them feel that was their duty, their constitutional duty. I'll tell you what, I don't. And anyone that feels that you have the right to kick in the windows of the White House or anything, let me ask you a question. Do I have the right to do that to your building, in your home? And it's stupid. Because I pay taxes. My taxes pay the road work in your house and the water lines under your house, right? Do I have the right to just kick in the door and just sit in your house and just declare it mine? And I know it was such a small amount of people there, okay? I understand it was a small amount. You know, I asked yesterday, if people know of a J6 defendant that's truly being held right now for misdemeanor only charges, let me know. Because I don't know of one. I don't know of a J6 defendant that's being held right now purely on misdemeanor charges. You know? Someone said, can't agree with any violence. No, you can't. And again, some people walk through the open doors, but those people have been forced to take plea bargains or shit like that already. The people that are in jail are not there for walking through open doors. They're not there for, and I've been calling it out from the very beginning. Remember the guy in Buffalo? He had a whole fucking SWAT team storm in on him. At 5 o'clock in the morning, they surveilled him with FBI teams for weeks leading up to his arrest. I wrote a big article on Citizen Stringer about it and talked about it for like 3 nights straight, thinking that mainstream media was going to eventually pick it up. Now, of course, they covered that they arrested him. No one really paid attention to the fact that he wasn't even charged with a felony. And they used all those resources and all those FBI things and the SWATs and the flashbangs and all that to arrest this man, to only let him out on his own recognizance. WYSIWYG will take your call. He's live. I don't give a fuck about that dude now. I'm not calling any. And here's the thing, you know, for far too long, I think I've cared what other people thought about me. And I realized that, you know, I'll probably be more successful just not giving a shit. You know what I mean? I don't. When someone, I just got to go to the way I do it in my personal life, right? When someone fucking crosses me, or if it's someone I don't like, usually I'm a good judge of character. I think when I wear this hat, though, not this particular hat, but the social media, the journalist, whatever, I have a different approach. I take it differently. You know what I mean? So when I'm gauging people wrong, and that's my problem, And like I said, I take veteran suicide personally, I do. So anyone that wants to go on there and say, well, the service, the crisis lines don't work, while talking to a veteran who's clearly in crisis, it's just fucking wrong, bro. It's just wrong. Someone said it was a psyop. Yeah. Someone said, I wonder if the Capitol prisoners have lawyers. Yeah, a lot of them do. A lot of them do have lawyers. A lot of them had lawyers that were also fired. Well, I don't know if they're still their lawyers. I won't say that. But I wrote articles about that too. We've been writing articles about J6 the whole time, about people that are getting arrested, about how they're being held in jail. I've talked to the J6 defendants on their tablets. I paid a shit ton of money to be able to chat with them. They won't talk to media. Well, maybe they do now, but this was a long time ago. And I can't get behind anybody that wants to even minimize. And I think that's I think that's the thing now, is I feel like people are trying to minimize the potential harm that could have happened yesterday. You know what I mean? And the unknown harm. We don't know. Because like I said, someone could have got on social media. Someone could have went on social media and saw that the mainstream media, liberals, whatever, on Twitter were saying that the veteran lines were all clogged. Someone may have been like, well, I can't call them. We'll never know. We'll never know. Someone said, here's the problem with the J6 deal. They only went for attention. They didn't go for the full effect, or it would have knew they were going to jail or worse. I say all in or nothing at all. Yeah, but there's nothing anyway. And all these people that were in jail, they got duped. They got duped. The people that smashed in windows and fought cops and did all that and feel like it was their patriotic duty, they got duped by Democrats. When they come to that realization, because it's not Trump's fault. Trump didn't benefit from January 6th. Everybody knows that if you actually use this little thing God gave you called common sense. It doesn't benefit Donald Trump to have people riot at the Capitol and stop the objection of the electorate, which is what he wanted. It doesn't benefit him at all. No one wants to think about that, though. Instead, everyone wants to just blame him. It's all Donald Trump's fault. Oh, my God. He's such a bad dude, bad man, evil orange man, bad whatever, all the expressions. And it's sad. When you really think about it, it's sad. It's sad that so many people they're just so hell-bent on their hatred for one person. Look at what they're doing with these migrants. Look at what they're doing. Well, actually, you know what? So we're going to talk about the border stuff in a minute, but I do want to talk about that kid that was the kid that was killed, the 18-year-old kid that was killed this week. Sunday morning. He was killed. He was run over to death because he was viewed as a MAGA extremist. This is real. You're all going to hear about it on Fox News probably tomorrow if you haven't already. I'm sure Tucker Carlson talked about it today because this is huge. It has huge, huge implications and connections to Joe Biden's speech 2 weeks ago where he claimed everyone was an extremist. This is literally every MAGA extremist. That's literally what he said. And that's literally what this guy said when he was captured by police and the reason he killed this young kid. According to court papers, it was not an accident, but apparently a politically motivated attack. The fatal pedestrian incident happened early Sunday morning, September 18th in McHenry, North Dakota, about 120 miles northwest of Fargo and 55 miles north of Jamestown. Prosecutors allege moments before he was killed, 18-year-old Kaylor Ellingston called his mom to come to his rescue because a 41-year-old named Shannon Brandt, a man, was chasing him in the city of McHenry. where a street dance had just wrapped up. But by the time she got there, her son was dead. Apparently, this Shannon Brandt was the one who called 911 to report the crash. Court papers show Brandt called 911 around 2:30 a.m. Sunday and told the 911 dispatcher that he just hit Ellingston, claiming the teen was part of a Republican extremist group and was calling for people to come get Brandt after a political argument. Ellingston's mom told police her son just called her before the crash, asking if she knew Brandt, which she does. She does not believe her son knew him. We are still trying to determine what exactly transpired at the time of the crash prior to that as well, explained the police chief. Police say Brandt was drunk when his SUV hit and killed Ellingston in the SUV in the alleyway. They do not have any witnesses. They're still making attempts to interview potential witnesses from the street dance, people that were present prior to the crash happening. Now, keep in mind, this guy deliberately killed this kid, an 18-year-old kid, citing that he was a MAGA extremist or a Republican extremist. And a judge ordered him held on $50,000 bail. He did object to that bail, saying, I have a job, a life, and a house, and things I don't want to see go by the wayside, family that are very important to me, after he just ran down an 18-year-old and killed them. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. If convicted on vehicular homicide charge, Brandt would face a minimum of 10 years in prison because of the DUI on his record. The maximum for the crime is only 20 years. Troopers say they can request more serious charges. I don't know why they're calling it vehicular homicide. He literally killed him. It should be capital murder. He chased him down and killed him. But that's going to happen more. That's going to happen because the president of the United States declared war on Americans. That's what I said the day after his speech or the night of his speech. I said he just declared war on Americans. And now his foot soldiers, these leftist morons, are literally committing murders. I would like to ask any of the leftists that watch my shows, and I know you do, and you're silent. When's the last time a Republican killed a leftist? Because I can think of two in the past 2 years where a leftist killed a Republican or a conservative or a God-fearing patriot, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, this case is just one. Portland, Oregon is one, where the Antifa guy shot and killed the Patriot Prayer guy, Jay Danielson. It could be also argued that the leftist fake security guard that was working in Denver, Colorado, who shot the biker guy in the head, killing him, that was politically motivated as well. But of course, the media didn't report that, and that guy is free on the street right now, even though he wasn't licensed to carry or anything. It's fucking insane. But I want people to understand, like, that. That's why I said it. There's a fucking cricket right outside this window. Can you hear that? Does it pick it up on the microphone? That shit has to be in here. Can you hear it or no? And it stopped, but that was loud, bro. I bet you thought it was like what's his face doesn't WYSIWYG use that as his like call? That was a real cricket. Oh my gosh. But we're going to talk about all this border crisis here in a minute. I am going to take a quick 1.5 break, so I'll be right back, all right?
I work for a federal agency. I've been doing this job for over 23 years. When I come home from work, what's rewarding to me is that I know that I'm out there serving and protecting the citizens of the United States. My job can be dangerous. There's conflict, aggression, and sometimes life-threatening situations. On June 12th, 2018, I was patrolling near a mountain range and I heard a noise in the gravel. I turned and I saw 2 muzzle flashes. It was clear it was an ambush. I was shot 6 times. Getting shot feels like 1,000 needles penetrating your body. I felt immense heat, and then later the pain kicked in, and I had to do everything I could to save my own life. I survived because I was wearing my body armor. If not, my wife would be a widow, and my daughter wouldn't have a father. Spartan armor saved my life.
Finding the right CBD product for you can be tough. Just CBD has you covered. We offer the highest quality, most consistent CBD gummies on the market with soothing 100% organic CBD in every mouth-watering gummy. All of our products are lab certified and made in the United States using organically grown hemp. Each of our gummies gives you between 8 and 25 milligrams of soothing CBD. Enjoy all the benefits of CBD in our amazing line of gummies with Just CBD.
Well, the cricket's gone. I don't know where it is. Once I move the door, it's in here somewhere. But I get them in the office sometimes too. Oh, I think UPS hit my overhead door in the warehouse. So that sucks because I'm probably going to have to pay for it. But I don't know, man. Someone asked a question, like said, why do you hate Chris or something like that? I don't hate Chris. Or why am I mad at Chris? Chris made some really stupid statements today. All right. And he's made some in other days, and I give him the benefit of the doubt. And maybe it is just because I take it personally, but he made a statement where he doesn't view calling the veteran suicide crisis hotline as he didn't view it as a protest. And which does it. Literally, if you just open your eyes and watch the video where they called for people to call it, I don't know how you can argue that it's not a protest. And then while he was talking to a veteran that was clearly in crisis himself, the guy was having a hard time not crying until Chris said, suicide hotlines don't work because people who call them, and I'm paraphrasing here, but people can go and clip his video. Because I'm sure he'll re-talk about this, but he said suicide hotlines don't work because the veterans or the people that call them are so intent on finishing it that there's likely not going to be anything that's going to be changed by that phone call, which even the basic bit of common sense, even the basic bit of intellect or just knowing someone that's had to call them tells you that's just false, just false, so I don't know, but it just pissed me off. That was kind of it for me. You know what I mean? In terms of that, but now you know. But someone said when our brothers show Saturday, they will scatter like the cockroaches. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, but someone said if one person is saved, is that not worth it? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people could like feel that way. You know what I mean? And I've talked about this a lot, during this show, and I don't like to. I mean, I try to keep my personal life as out of this show as possible. Many of you, and more recently, things have come out. You know what I mean? In terms of my personal life, the whole foster care thing, my brother, I try to keep them all kind of free from everything, and the rest of my family kind of shielded from this talk because I don't want them inundated with this kind of stuff, and yesterday it pissed me off. It didn't. I saw a rage. I was enraged knowing that they did that, knowing that they called the veteran crisis line for the J6 people, and just 18 months after my brother and friends and other people, I just don't. It struck me the wrong way, or it struck me the right way, to be completely honest. And I don't apologize for it. I'm happy I didn't do something stupid, because I thought about it, to be completely honest with you. I thought about it. But anyway, the border crisis kind of taking a weird turn too. Oh, by the way, so one of the things we did yesterday is I said all the Cash Apps and Venmos that I received yesterday, I would donate to a veteran charity that deals with suicide. And I would also do 10% of all the sales in the store. After totaling everything up, it was about $500, $600 yesterday. And I just didn't feel like that was enough. So I've made the decision that from September 1st on, every month, we will take 10% of the total revenue off of every sale on puretruthcoffee.com. And we will donate that. We'll split it between 3 different charities every month. And you guys can submit charities that you want us to donate to. They just got to be like veteran, police, first responder, or scholarships. If I could figure out how to do that tax, wise, because I'm not going to get screwed with a huge tax burden again. And just to put it into perspective, because that changes our donation from $600, $700, what, 500, 600, whatever it was yesterday, to a lot more. So I can do something, because I've been saying for a long time, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? We have a successful company. If you've ever tried our coffee, it's amazing. And so this is my way of trying to give back. And also you guys could choose, that was the one thing I was going to do, is where we could choose and we'll vote on which one. So originally I was like, so I'll pick 3 and then we will choose and vote on which one gets a contribution that month. And then I was like, I don't want to do that. So why don't I just pick 3 and then you guys can submit them. So if it's local ones that or something like that, we'll just choose 3 every month and we'll just split it in thirds and donate. So that is what we're going to be doing. And that's effective September 1st. So, it's a lot different than anything we've done before, but it's a lot easier. And every now and then, so like the Harlem's Finest, we'll just donate that. The Freedom Blend, I'm going to have to change that. I'm just going to make it, I think as you're checking out, you can have an option to purchase and donate that bag of coffee, because it's causing too much confusion when people are buying it and they expect to receive it, but we donate it. So I'm going to switch that. I'm going to switch some stuff around on the website. And then also I'm going to make a special hoodie tomorrow. I'll try to do it in the morning and then put it out in the afternoon. It's going to be a little bit more pricey. It's going to be $55. I've kind of designed it. I just didn't get it all done yet. But I'm going to donate. I got to figure it out, either depending on my cost, either $10 or $15 of every sweatshirt that's sold specifically for veteran services every month on top of the 10%. And so that hoodie is going to come out. It's going to be patriotic as fuck, by the way. And we'll only have 3 or 4 colors, but it's going to have sleeve prints and things a little bit different than we've done. So I'll have that out tomorrow. Yeah. So make sure you check it out. I'll post it on social media when we do it too. But it's going to be a pre-order, so it'll be about 2 weeks, because I'm going to print them all myself. And all reality, it's just because I've gotten a little bit bigger and I need new hoodies. So I wanted to make a bunch of cool hoodies for myself, and then I decided I'll do this. But anyway, so let's talk about this veteran thing, or this border crisis shit, because this is going kind of nutty right now too. Mainstream media's up in arms about DeSantis flying these migrants. And I even know our morning show, Pizza and Tilly, a lot of my viewers were super pissed. And yeah, granted, the statement he made about kids, the abortion stuff, that was disgusting, in bad taste. And I can't even say I understand what the fuck he was talking about, to be completely honest, because it doesn't have any relevance to anything else. He believes that DeSantis did this as a political ploy, or a political stunt, which I also agree with. I've said that before. But he said it was purely to get votes and to get conservatives to vote for him, which I disagree. I think this was a political stunt to force mainstream media to pay attention. And if you saw the airport in Delaware today, he's right. There were more cameras waiting for this plane who didn't land in Delaware. It went to New Jersey instead. This empty plane, there were more cameras set up there than there's ever been at a border press conference. Why? Why? And anyone that wants to be critical of DeSantis for his choice really shouldn't be now. Even and I was critical of it for the fact that he dropped him off at Martha's Vineyard. You shouldn't have done that. It's an island. Drop him off in Boston if you want to do that. If you want to make a stance. But it did exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to do it, and he did it. And it did exactly what he intended. It got mainstream media to pay attention to the plight and the fact that there are thousands of people crossing into this country illegally every day, and they're not being treated as fairly as DeSantis, treated these people. And a lot of people, like, I guess, some sleazeball attorneys have convinced some of these migrants to file 10th and 14th Amendment lawsuits against DeSantis, which are going to be thrown out because they all signed waivers, and none of that matters. It's all a publicity stunt. These lawyers are going to get their airtime. Yeah, I'm assuming you'll see them quickly on social media. The Democrat running the Democrat sheriff in Texas and San Antonio, where these people took off from, he is a Democrat. He has said he's opening an investigation into DeSantis and into these late night flights. And when a reporter asked him what crimes they broke, the sheriff, a guy that's got 25 years of law enforcement experience, said, I don't know what crimes he broke, but it was just not right. So we're going to look at it. You got to look at the politics of it and realize it's partisan. So, just dismiss it. But even today, everybody was up in arms because the federal government paid the same pilot, the same aviation company, or not the federal government, DeSantis paid an additional $950,000 to the same aviation company, which is more than what it had when it had a plane full of migrants, which is weird because now this aviation company flew all the way up here empty, which is odd. So I don't know. Maybe it had another charter and it's still flying, but everyone's tracking its tail number now because that's apparently the only plane in the world, and that's the most important plane for leftist morons to go. And again, there's people make this weird judgment saying that this weird connection saying that President Biden has the rights and the authorities and worked with local authorities while he was dropping off people in the dead of the night, which is contrary to actual reporting because we know he wasn't talking to local authorities because, the local authorities said he wasn't talking to them. Just keep in mind, everybody, this worked one time before, so I'm going to say that I am $427.12 away from my goal for the day on the store. It's not too ambitious. That's only a couple of coffee boxes sold. We can do it. Let's do it. A couple of Keurigs. We sell Keurigs now because they take a while, 7 days to ship at least. Because I get the Keurigs shipped to me and then I add our variety K-cup pack and then ship it out to you. So it takes about 10 days. But now is the time. And tell you what, use code coffee, 10% off right now. 10% off everything in the store. If you've been waiting for K-cups, we got them. They're under coffee rounds or single serve rounds, something like that. Single serve coffee rounds. And I'll be honest, I'm busting my ass. So these K-cups, when they do come, they're going to be blank. I'll on the box, it'll say what they are. And the variety packs, if you've ordered a variety pack, I'm going to try to separate them so you can tell because I don't have the labels for the top. And I'm not going to have them for a long time because they have to be custom printed and they take forever. And I can't put the labels that I have already on the tops of these K-cups because they're not food grade and I'll get sued. So yeah, I know. Go figure. All the different things. But yeah, if you go to Pure Truth Coffee right now and place an order. Oh, and I got to give a shout out to Vinny last night. Vinny ordered $500 worth of shit in the store. And apparently you guys were all being super mean to him yesterday in the chat and he was super upset. But thank you, Vinny, for your support of our store. I really appreciate it. Everybody, to be honest. Everybody. And keep in mind, 10% of all your sales on Pure Truth Coffee are going to be donated at the end of the month. And you'll be able to see it because I'm going to say causes we donate to or our causes or something. So everyone will be able to see it. But yeah, shout out to Vinny because everyone apparently was being mad at him last night. And so someone said just mark him with a Sharpie. I can't because that's not food grade. But you know what? I can mark him with a ballpoint pen but I don't want to break the top of them. So maybe I'll just have to light brightly. But yeah, so everyone's up in arms about the border stuff. The new numbers came out. 2 million people have crossed so far this fiscal year, and it's not even over yet. It ends in, I think, October. 78 known terrorists have been apprehended at the border. So that's not including the dozens and dozens that have come into the country and haven't been caught. But someone said, our boy Steve is a business now. Congrats. What do you mean? Where have you been, Brian? I recognize your name, but you haven't been in here for a long time. We've owned the coffee company now for a year, haven't we? I think it's been a year, if not over a year. But yeah, this is a new approach. And if you can't tell right now, I've completely crashed because even earlier today I was really tired, but yeah, now I've completely crashed. Now they're estimating that there's almost 800,000 gotaways. 800,000 gotaways. And keep in mind, a gotaway is not someone that they just assume. That's people that they saw on camera and couldn't capture. That's what a gotaway is. If you look it up, that's what it is. People that they were able to detect were there. People that they found the tracks for or whatever. And so they knew. That's why they call them known gotaways. Isn't that crazy? And those numbers, they're always short, but yet they're still what? For every 4 migrants, there's one apprehended, there's one gotaway. So, well, some. That's being conservative because a lot of people think it's 40%, which is insane. Brian Holt said we get 4,000 illegals in a day in Texas and 50 at Martha's Vineyard, and they go crazy. Yeah, they deported them after 24 hours. The Texas National Guard or the Massachusetts National Guard were activated. They activated 300 National Guard members for 50 Venezuelan immigrants. And now you got the Venezuelan president that's like, F it. And he's emptying his prisons and telling them all to come to America. No joke. I don't even know if that's real. It's being widely reported. The Border Patrol Union has even commented on it today on social media, saying they are also hearing reports that this guy actually did it. Wait till you think that we've already had 2 million. Wait till 2,000 or they're estimating 2 million criminals from Venezuela flee to America. Is that crazy? Isn't it crazy? Someone said, I saw a video today of a man's house where a group of men tried to get in his house and they broke into his 95-year-old woman's house next door. It was insane. I can't imagine. Yeah, but you know what's even crazier is we have a viewer that was called by the police because illegal immigrants, and I'll say she lives in the northeast, almost northeast, maybe northwest, I don't know, but lives somewhere in Pennsylvania, Ohio, Kentucky, or Indiana, one of those places. I'm not telling you where. But she has like another house or something that they're renovating, and she was called by the police because a bunch of illegal immigrants moved into her garage in the house that she's renovating, and they had to evict them. No joke, man. No joke. Someone said it should be considered an act of war, in my opinion. Are you talking about the Venezuelan government sending all those people into the United States? It's not. I don't know why. Joe Biden today, while he was giving some speech about something, when he was questioned about DeSantis flying the migrants, he said, or about a second plane full of migrants, because everyone said DeSantis was sending a second plane up today. That's why all the cameras were staged in Delaware, more so than ever been at our border. And I think there will be a trip for me down to the border in the near future. I was talking to my wife about it the other day. I want to see if like any of you guys have any connections with local law enforcement down there, and they would let me do live ride arounds. And I'm just going to record it. I know it's not going to live streams aren't going to work there, but I want to ride with law enforcement. I want to see what they're actually going through and talk to them. I think I'm going to start doing a segment called The Day in a Life, where I just go and just do different things or follow people around, first responders, wherever I could do it, to be honest. I was even thinking an Uber driver. That one I wouldn't do a day in the life. I'd just go become an Uber driver for a day. I used to do it. It sucked. I didn't make shit for money. But I think it would be interesting just to the conversations and stuff now that I do YouTube, live. But yeah, if any of you guys know anybody that's in law enforcement down there, or I know we have a big law enforcement viewership, or I know if any of you feds that watch that still like me, and you have any connections down there, reach out to them. I would love to do it and show what's really going on. And then we're going to do that. Someone said, what about that cop you met on TikTok from Texas? Yeah, he was from Houston. Houston cop, I think he was. Someone said, do a ride along with the Mexican police and die? No, I'm good. Someone said, just move some freight. I was talking to my wife about going to a CDL school just to document it because I think it would be interesting. And because, America needs more truckers, good people. And I was like, maybe I'll just go to a CDL school, take my CDL, do the whole test and all that stuff while documenting it. That would be kind of cool, right? But Optimus Prime said, Steve, your beard is crooked. LOL. New slogan, crooked beard. Yeah, not funny. It's not crooked. I haven't even shaved in a while. A beer shortage. I've not heard about a beer shortage. That may be it for me. Brian said, maybe get a Starlink from Elon Musk for the RV to stream to the border. I'm not bringing the RV if I go to the border. I'll rent a Tahoe, I'll have the Spartan armor, body armor down there. I'd be all set. I'd be good. A couple of cameras, a couple of microphones, and just go out there. I just want to see what's going on. That's it. The gypsies pretty much maintain on the road and move from place to place. They don't squat for the most part. I went over to the Citizen Stringer chat. For anyone that doesn't know, we have our own live streaming platform called Citizen Stringer. And it's pretty awesome. And you can go on there and there's a 24/7 live stream that plays. And I'll be honest, I haven't been doing a good job playing videos. Like, for example, 2 years ago today, there were no riots. I did a show during the day and I wasn't going to replay that show after. So I'm just going to play the Santilli show again. But yeah, there's always people in there. Right now, there's just 45 people chatting along. Sue Parker said, hey, Steve, we can't see you on CS, which is a complete and utter lie. Because you can. You just got to refresh. And I'll show you can. Because we like facts here. Oh, look, there's CS. That's Citizen Stringer. In addition to also being on the web at citizenstringer.tv, where you can sign up for a membership. You can also download the app, citizenstringer.tv, or Citizen Stringer TV on Google, Android, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and all that stuff. Become a member. Monthly member is $12.99. Yearly member is $109. If you use code censored, it's like $79 a year. And it's good. Cost me $2,500 a month to keep that up. So if you guys want to become members on there, it would really, really be appreciated. We are still far away from our goal, so I don't think we're making our goal tonight on Pure Truth Coffee. Although there are a lot of people just milling about, oh, well, maybe we will because someone just made a big order. Because currently we are $229.35 away from our goal for the day. So Optimus Prime said, see ya. Prissy Tomboy, I'm one of the first, Texas Tomboy, said I'm one of the first 200 CS members, but the only time I chat is on YouTube. That's rare, although I watch everything. Yeah. There's always a lot of people that watch on the Rokus. There's a lot of people. There's like 100 people that are on the Roku every single day. And I don't know why it doesn't work. Someone said, how many shows do we have on Citizen Stringer? So we have Pete Santilli, who's on from 8 to 10, and then he does another live show. So he does 4 hours a day from 6 to 8 p.m. And I actually chop off his last hour and I come live at 8 o'clock. And then we have a bunch of our riot footage from September, which is available on Citizen Stringer on demand for members only. Plus all of these videos are there. So if we're ever kicked off social media, you can always just watch them there. And then we'll be adding more. Occasionally I do bloopers and stuff like that. I'm going to bring it back. I may do like a crazy, weird video day, something, or like fail videos because I like watching those. So I may do something like that. David said I'm a CS lifetime member, so I've seen it many times. Roku is cheap for poor people. And here's a secret. I think if you sign up through Roku, it may be a little bit cheaper. Freedom Fighter said, yes, we have it. It freezes. Freedom said, it freezes every 9 seconds, Steve. All Peter repeats, so maybe he will see us. No, it's not freezing, guys. I have it up on my screen, and it's not freezing for me. There's also a little thing down here. Here, watch, I'll show you. Because maybe you guys got to fix this. Look. If you're watching on a computer, this little thing, change your quality. Whoops, not that. That's a shortcut. Oh, wait. It's because I was trying to do it off of the camera. Go in here and change your quality. Oh, well, you can't. Never mind. Fuck off. I don't know. If it's freezing, I would just have to blame it on your internet because it's working fine for me. So, and Amy just said it's not freezing. So, I just saw TW Lives here from 2 years ago. I'm sure that's what me. Yeah. Well, a lot of people, you may remember, especially as I upload more, because I'm going to upload every single day of riot footage that I've ever recorded. So we'll have it like September. What was it? September 16th, 18th, whatever. We just played it. John Sullivan. It was the first time we've ever seen John Sullivan. This was September of 2020. It's right after it like piqued my interest. And I'm like, who the hell is this dude? And then I started doing research on him and wrote our first article after interviewing him and his dad and all that stuff. And this is well before January 6th, before he became a household name to everybody wondering why he's not in jail. You know, auto-tune vids, someone said. Yeah, maybe. You know, there was a rap song that Katie sent to me today. I think it was Katie. I don't know who. Oh, yeah, it was. This fucking song. And I cannot play this for you guys because it's so wrong. But here, watch. You want to hear a second of it?
That mean I ain't got a baby coming out of me, so I'm 8B.
Fucking scum. They feel like murder on her mind as she's dancing and twerking outside of a Planned Parenthood. No joke. So I was actually listening to that just a little bit, and then the beat got stuck in my head, and then I found that I was rapping horrible, horrible things about that person. So I was like, I wonder if I could dumb that down and make one of these like rapper videos where I have like the wind guard and all that stuff and the fancy lights and stuff, and just I'm rapping and I suck at it. But maybe I could do that and make fun of people, the news or something. Karen said the quality is auto, no other choice. Yeah, I just did that live on the air. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, we know. But Sue Parker said, FF, I guess he doesn't believe us. You have to understand that if I can't duplicate the issue, there's nothing I can do to fix it. So what I would say is if you're using it on the web, if you're using it on a mobile device, I don't know, delete the app and re-upload it. I have no idea. If you're using it on the web and it's lagging, because it's not lagging for me, I'm watching it right here. It's not glitching. It's not doing anything. What I would say you should do is clear your cache. Okay, you can do it in settings. If you're using Google Chrome, go into settings and clear browsing data. That is one way that you can do it, and it will delete it. So that way it resets something. You should be doing it about every month anyway. And if you use any of the other Windows Explorers or anything like that, I don't know. Several of us can't see you, they said. Well, I don't know why, because I can't duplicate it, because I just proved again for 19 times, here's the 20th, that it's fine. Someone said it's been doing it several days for several people. Yeah, I have no idea. Okay, because here's the problem too, is if there's an issue like that and we can't duplicate it, we can't find a solution for it. Do you understand? So like when I go in or any of our tech development, and I know I just got more animated, I'm not yelling at you, so don't, all you citizen stringers, don't be like, Steve's being mean and yelling, because I'm not trying to. I'm telling you, because this has been something I've struggled with them for too, because sometimes like shit will happen to me, and then I'll go to them and be like, hey, this is not working. And they'll be like, okay, well, we can't duplicate that. And I'm like, well, look, here's a fucking screen grab. It's not working. And they can't fix it. You know what I mean? Because they can't duplicate that same issue. So on the back end, their system's not showing any errors. Do you know what I mean? It's weird when you talk about it. So someone said, I really think it has to do with internet speed and bandwidth. I never have any issues at home when I'm connected to Xfinity. But Windows, when you shut down, it clears automatically. No, it does not, Karen. That's not true at all. Windows does not clear your internet browsing cache when you shut down your computer. I've never even heard of that before. I think you could set Google Chrome to do that, but I doubt that's what you're talking about, because you said when you shut down Windows, which is not true. David Perdue said it's working fine. Captured Single said it's working fine. And a lot of people. Bonnie said she's watching fine on her mobile device and she's not freezing. So again, it's only some of you, and I don't know how to fix it, and I'm sorry, but I know it makes me sound cold and callous, but I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be realistic with you and say I don't know how to fix it. And I'll send tech support a message, although they're going to say I don't know how to fix it either. I know they're going to. But at the conclusion of this show, the Santilli show from tonight, that airs from 6 to 8, is going to replay. And then it's going to be this show again. And then Santilli's show again. And then my show. And then and likewise until tomorrow morning. Tomorrow I'll try to upload. I've been just really cramming out these orders. I've got a bunch of the mega mugs. Some of you guys are going to start getting your mega mugs tomorrow. I'm going to try to do it first thing in the morning, is update the links, the QR codes for some of you guys. Some are going to get $100 bill, so you're fine. In others, the TV, I think, is in one of these batches, and I don't know who. There's like 50 of them back there. But some of you guys are going to get QR codes that are just going to link to Pure Truth Coffee. Don't worry about it. I will update it, so just keep scanning it. Because some are going to come to a video where it's going to be like, hey, thank you so much for purchasing that mega mug. You have a permanent 15% discount in our store. Just scan that code every day, come to this landing page, and you are good. Like that. But I'm going to say it like more like, hey. No, I'm just kidding. Right? Hey, did you buy your coffee today? Oh, wait, I don't have headphones on, so it's not going to do it.
All right. Yeah. So I can still kind of hear myself. So maybe I'll do the video like this. Hey, or
hey. Wait, is that doing anything? No, that's
Best. Hey, how you doing today?
I don't know. I can't hear it because I don't have headphones on. So anyway, in approximately 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, it's going to switch over, and all you guys are going to fade into restful slumber. I'm going to go home and eat cookies and watch Succession because I like that show. And let me see. We are 105. No, can I do math? $170.30 away from our goal for the day. And we'll probably do it while I sleep. So that's good. We're going to be plugging it a lot lately. But thank you guys for watching. I will see you. Someone said I knew it, cookies. Yeah, but I don't eat Oreos anymore because fuck Oreo. I know. It wasn't that they went woke or anything. It's literally because of Oreo Express. I can't eat them anymore. Isn't that fucked? Anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.